Welcome to the Likely Not Dead podcast, a podcast that we created after a few shots, where we speak about the spooky, the creepy, and evil of the world. With me are my two rats, which are Lenny and Toby. So we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm going to start off with me. My name is Quasi. I'm 25 years old. Do you want to know where I live? No. And my supernatural things, I believe in ghosts, the devil, God, whatever. Join with me is whoever wants to speak next.
I'll go ahead and go second, I guess. I'm Lenny. I'm 26 years old. I was born in a secret tunnel. Yeah, so we actually talk a lot about like different paranormal shit between our lives. So we're just gonna share those here, and basically anything else that we hear about it around our area and the world. So hopefully we'll go into like ghost hunting adventures and shit.
Yeah, so stay tuned, get to know us, and some of our shared and personal experiences.
So this is basically our introduction. So this is just the introduction podcast where you just get to know who we are as people, get to know a little bit of our spooky past. I don't know who wants to go first with their spooky past, because I talk too much. Everyone knows that. So I obviously would like to be the last one, because I'm just going to finish this whole thing.
That is straight fact. She could literally sit here by herself and she'll tell you just like maybe 1 year of her life, and there'll be like 2 days of recording. So yeah, you'll go last, homie. So I'll go first. So growing up, we've my family's Mexican, so we all believe in like the Llorona and all that stuff. So sometimes I feel like I've actually heard the Llorona when I would stay in Mexico. So it's pretty crazy. I've seen dead people. Pretty sure everybody has. So yeah, I pretty much grew up in what's it called? Shit, I blanked out. Just paranormal shit happened in my life, you know, like from moving dolls to fucking.
Do you
dead
mean
people.
Monterrey? That area?
No. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Tamaulipas.
Tamaulipas. Oh,
Ciudad
okay.
Victoria, like that way, by ese rumbo. But yeah, like I try to block all that shit out because that shit's scary. So, I mean, I really don't got much to say at the moment. But yeah, I just let you know that I did grow up around that. I do believe in all that. The devil, God.
Okay, but have you ever had an experience in which, like, what was like, you know what I would say? What is the first, to make this topic a little bit clearer, how about we do the first time we actually believed in the devil? Like, when you actually felt fear in your bones. Like, something that scared you so much that you didn't think it was real, and then you find out it was real.
So I guess one of the early ones that I can remember is seeing my grandpa, or my great grandpa. So it was one of the times that I would go to Mexico whenever my mom would go to the hospital. So it was one of those times. My tia would come grab me like around 2-3 in the morning after she would come back from the clubs with her boyfriend, and she would always take me to her house, which is literally like 2 steps from my grandma's house. So like one of those nights she picked me up, and pues I was following her, and then I just felt something staring at me. So when I looked towards the back of the house, there was like a tall man in a suit. So I like stay frozen in place. Yeah, so like I froze in place, and when I looked to my left, I just saw this tall man in a suit, like literally half of him just like peeking out through the wall, and I got so scared, like I couldn't move. Right, I was in shock. So my tia, like, she like grabs me and she's like, "Pues qué tienes?" Like, you know, fucking takes me inside the house. And I was like, "Es que mire," I told her, like, I saw a man in a suit. And she was like, "Oh, like, she asked me if she looked like a certain way. I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, that's your great grandpa. Like, he comes and visits your grandma sometimes. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that's normal? Like, that's scary as fuck. Like, she made me chug like 2 cups of water. Because you know how when you're like in shock, you have to like drink a lot of water. Yeah, I don't know. Some weird shit like that. But yeah, that's I guess that would be one of my very first paranormal activities that made me believe in like shit, you know.
That's crazy because just I don't know why they made you drink water. When I'm scared, they always tell me like eat chocolate, like in the Harry Potter movies. They're like, oh, eat some chocolate para el susto. I never heard of someone like drink water. Like, are you dehydrated, bitch?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was water, but I don't know if they put like sugar in it. I know it was water with sugar. I don't know how she made it for me, but she's like, Te tomo mucha agua por el susto. And I'm like, okay, like, there I was with like fucking big ass cup, cause I was fucking tiny, bro. I'm like a fucking little Polly Pocket doll, little size. And I was there fucking chugging the water, and then I was so scared to go back to my grandma's house because I forgot my blanket. So when I went, I don't think I told you guys. I actually went back to my grandma's house, and so when you go in, it's the kitchen, and then you go more in, and it's the front door, and then a hallway to, it's not a hallway, but like the entrance to the bigger room where they would have extra beds for us. So like when I turned to go into the room with the extra beds, it was so dark. A fucking cat came out, like literally out of the darkness, like just fucking jumped out, and I was like, I got even more scared. So I was in more shock, and my tia's over there like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Like, there was a fucking cat in here, just came out of the darkness. And she was like, chingao, and she took me back. She got my blanket. She fucking here, toma mucha agua, and I was like, what the fuck do I want this water from? I'll piss myself, bro. Like, goddamn. But yeah, like that's like a 2-in-1, you know. So that just scared me like the rest of the night. But yeah, that was one of my younger paranormal activity shit that I've gone through.
Amazing. Not amazing. Sucks, honestly. I've never lived in Mexico. Never, like I've gone to Progreso or whatever. But like all my mom used to not let me, like, anytime when MCR was in Mexico City back in 2013, around there, or I don't know what year it was, 2009 maybe, 2010, whatever. They were touring in Mexico.
We're like 5,
Bitch, don't untouch me right now. Don't untouch me. I wanted to see MCR. There was a point they were in Mexico, and I was telling my mom, look, they're gonna go to Mexico. I was in like middle school. And my mom said no, because Mexico is dangerous. And look at me now. Okay. Yeah, so I've never been to Mexico, only to go there to eat, buy stuff. Thank you for sharing your story, Lenny. Horrible. Ghosts in Mexico are the scariest things since we've been created into this world. So Toby, do you have any story somewhat the same that made you believe in the ghost or the devil or fear itself? It could be not paranormal, just something.
Yeah, well, my story where I first experienced something paranormal was one of the many times actually I've experienced when we would go to Mexico for some relative party. It's always at my grandmother's house and where my mom grew up. In this little small town called Cavazos. It's actually where most of my relatives live. So my mother had many siblings. You know, it was an age where having a lot of kids was, having a lot of kids. But supposedly when you go into that little pueblito, there's like a little strip where they have like little stores and there's a bar there. And right behind the bar is there some railway tracks. So apparently one of my uncles was murdered behind the bar, and they threw his body on the railway tracks hoping to, get run over to cover their tracks. So sometimes when we would go and we would leave like late at night, like many parties.
Oh, sorry. It's because you said railroad and then you said tracks. So, yeah. So you could cover their tracks. Yeah, I know. Anyways, continue.
Didn't even catch that pun, huh? I'm gonna keep it in. So he was killed there and left, but sometimes people have reported seeing somebody at night walking by the railroad tracks. Like you can't see them, like details. You just see like their outline in the distance, and it's always behind that little strip where the bar was. So I asked my mom, like, who was that guy there? And she's like, oh, that's one of your uncles that he was killed there. And much like Lenny, like, it was normal for them.
I think what's so crazy is that both of your stories are in Mexico. Mine are only in the United States. That's because I don't got family. And I don't have any family. I do kind of, but last time I heard some of them are like part of like the bad part of Mexico. They do some shady stuff in Mexico. That yeah, no one goes there. Like basically, like all my mom's family from Mexico, they're all here. So there's no one to visit. And now my dad's side, the girl visits over here. Like, so yeah, there's no me going over there. But that's horrible that your uncle died in such a pun way on the trail tracks. And then to cover the tracks, they're like, let's put him on the train tracks. So the train covered our tracks that we left them there. Really fucked up. And I was trying to hold it in. I'm so sorry, but I was trying to hold it in from not laughing and like dying right now. I looked at Lenny, and Lenny looked at me, and I saw her that she was about to go, like she was holding her like laughter in, but I saw her little finger like say something.
I had to. Couldn't have missed the chance of running that through, Yeah, Mexico's pretty infamous for all their supernatural stuff, especially because they believe in it so much. The like witches and shit. Like I've seen those. Fucking duendes. I've seen those. Fucking trolls, bro. Like, the fucking muñecas come to life. I've seen those. Alright, I have a bad rep with the chusas, bro. All the time, but that's my own fault, I guess.
That's because you're always with Selena too. Not to whistle at night. You be playing that game. They play bad, and you don't like it. That's what you get for being a tease.
I just like being followed around, Love the attention.
When your depression sinks in, you're like, I need a friend. And we get a supernatural being chase me down.
Better than nothing.
Okay, well, okay, two scary stories. Fucking Mexico, scary as fuck. Supernaturally, okay. Yeah, I don't got nothing from Mexico, so I can't relate. I have I got my parents' story from Mexico. I could start with that.
Remember, it has to be from your personal experience, your first thing that made you believe in the supernatural or the devil.
Well, I have many. So I'll upload the one that actually scared me, like, because I've seen ghosts, but I thought they were real. So I thought they were just real people just living rent free in my house, that no one else could see, or I thought it was my imaginary friend. So for me, the one who talks the most, I'll tell you my little ghost story here in the USA.
Here is chapter 1, note 1.
You didn't get to hear it, but I screamed like the fucking banshee bitch that I am. I'm trying to protect my right. Don't dead name me right now, bruh. Anyway, while these bitches be laughing in the corner, fuck you. Yes, Spark Notes. My life is Sparks Notes, okay? So chapter 1, the first ghost. Not really. The scary ghost. More better.
What was that one line from Nuke's Top 5?
Did you see it? No mames. I always wonder like if it's new hot. But that's another story. That's more info that no one needed. So anyway, then you go back to chapter 1, origin stories, the revival. Nah, mira, este mamón está todo dormida over here in the corner. Hombre, how am I gonna drive home? That's the real question. I don't have the bed, so don't act. That's what you always say, and then you I'm just thinking my voice is shot. If you can't tell by my laugh, I'm dying. Anyway, let me go. I guess I'll start with my story. I was around, we're gonna say 10, maybe 11. I sleep with my little sister. We share a room, and we always fighting because the light situation. But that's another thing. So the first time I actually got scared, it was like, I don't know what time it was, because I do not have a clock in my room. I made sure about that. I don't know why, but if I see the time, I get triggered when I sleep, because it makes me stay awake more. Like if I know it's 5 o'clock and I have to wake up at 7, oh my god, it takes me forever to go back to sleep. So anyway, I woke up, and for some reason I felt like I need to turn around. I turned around, and like at first I thought I heard someone say my name, and then I turned over, and my little sister was just sleeping in her bed. So I'm like, okay, it's not her. And then at the corner of my bed, I just see a white lady. White people scare me already. So this old lady, I could still picture her in my head, skinny, little curly white hair. She was wearing like a blue blouse, white pants, weird shit. That it's crazy because I could see all that detail, but her eyes it's like what gives me the chills is that they're just black. And she was just at the edge of my bed. So I don't scream when I'm scared, right? But I'm like a deer in headlights. I just stare. So I picked up the covers. I don't know why, but I'm like, the covers will save me. So I picked up the covers and I turned to the side because I was sleeping on my back. I turned to my side, and I hoped she was just gone. And I waited there. I was like, I know I was having a panic attack because I was like getting hot. My heartbeat was going fast. And I was like, I don't know why my dumb ass was like, yeah, let me check. Like, let me check if she's gone. Worst mistake of my life. The moment I pulled down the covers, the bitch's face was like right there in front of me. She just stared at me. Bitch, the scream that came out of me, actually didn't even come out because I was like like petrified. And then this bitch is staring at me like maybe 2 feet, like not even. She was really fucking close. I could see her eyes just dark, and she's just like not saying anything. But I saw her trying to open her mouth. Bitch, I was not ready for that. So I was calling my little sister. I'm like, hey. Like, it was awful. Like, you trying to speak while you're scared is like the worst thing ever. Like, the words don't come out. And I don't know how. Maybe because she's a light sleeper. I guess she finally heard my dumb ass like making noise. And she's like, what? Like, she was all angry. Like, obviously, because I'm waking her up. And I'm like, and she finally turned around. She saw, I guess, the thing still stayed there. That's what's crazy. The ghost didn't leave. I don't even know if it was really a ghost. That's the real thing. I don't even know if it was a ghost, because that thing stayed there the whole time. It didn't disappear. Like, you know when like people get ghost stories and they're trying to tell someone else, the other person hardly ever sees it. My sister did. She turned, and the fucking thing turned its head to look at her. That bitch has lungs, okay? That bitch screamed bloody murder. I, for some reason, felt like I needed to get out. So I jumped off my bed. I jumped to her bed. We're screaming bloody murder. And she just coming at us. And I'm just like, ah! And I was like, get under the fucking sheets, bitch. Get out. And we're under the sheets. And we don't know prayers. My mom's really religious, and you would think we'd know prayers. We just know, ay, let me guarde luz cabecina que me espanta de noche dia. Like that shit. That's all we got. That's all we got for me. My dad comes in. I remember this shit because he was shirtless and he has a machete. He's a machete. Gel machete in the hand, and he was like, ¿Qué pasó? Like, he thought a man was in our room. My mom, in her nightgown. Oh my god! And he's like, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Like screaming, like comfort me. What? Screaming at me like that. And then I was like, there was a ghost, there was a lady. Like, and then he's like, nah. And then he went to sleep. And he's like, fuck, there's no such thing as ghosts. Ghosts aren't real. Go the fuck to sleep. Yeah, tough love. My mom was like, Mija, you just see a lot of scary movies. And so this is how you know my parents don't believe in ghosts, kind of. And they just told me to go back to sleep, but we didn't sleep that day. I just told my little sister, look, you win this time. We're sleeping with the lights on. And I didn't sleep. I just kept on staring because this bitch came from my closet. After that, I didn't sleep for like a week. For a week, I slept with the lights on. And I made sure that fucking closet, like I would take off the curtain because we didn't have a door. That's too much money. A door's too much money. So we have a curtain, okay? And I just rolled it up to make sure that I could see inside the closet. And yeah, that was the first time that I had the biggest fear of my life. That was the first time, whatever that is, maybe it wasn't even a ghost. It was probably a demon. I didn't even know. It was trying to tell me something, but I just couldn't. I was like, nah, fam, nah. You're out. And that's basically my little ghost story. It wasn't that long. I don't think so. But yeah, that's basically what happened.
Yeah, your house is like the fucking heart of hell, bro. There's always some shit going on in your house, from black-eyed people to fucking lechuzas, fucking ghosts, witches, skinwalkers now.
Listen, about the bruja one, that was when my grandma, rest her soul, was alive, and she would say her bruja friends would come visit her, and I was like, Grandma, don't be letting these witches go on my property like that for free, no rent, nothing.
But that's for another episode for a podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. I think now it's just like us just chatting about it. I don't know. Do you guys have any commentary for the bitches out there that are listening to this?
So this would conclude probably the end of our first episode of Getting to Know Us. For our podcast, Likely Not Dead. I almost said dying. We'll post on our social medias. We got Twitter, Facebook, what else? TikTok. We got a website where you can share your stories. And we would love to, say it here in the show. We also have a Reddit.
So we're just gonna end it here.
Hopefully in the other episodes, Toby will be more, he'll talk a little bit more. Today he was just kind of chilling.
Just to do a recap, that was Lenny. There's Toby, the quiet one for now. And I'm Quasi. This is the end of the Likely Not Dead podcast with the two rats, that one bitch. You can follow us on our socials. But you could follow us at Likely Not Dead. That is literally the username. So Likely Not Dead podcast, because everyone be taking that that username. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter. We have a website, www.likelynotdeadpodcast.com. Okay, that's it, bitch. See you till next time on our Likely Not Dead podcast. Have a spooky night. Make sure the brujas don't get you. Make sure you put salt and thinking good things. If you're bad, don't at me. Thank you. Bye.